Hi, my name's Emily Maldonado Alonso. I'm currently a second year student at Santa Barbara City College, majoring in political science. I also serve on the board of directors for the nonprofit organization Students Against Sexual Assault as the SBCC coordinator. Would you mind introducing yourself a bit?
Yes, I can. So I love working in the community. I love making a difference and making our communities better for everyone. And also, some personal interest is that for exercise, I love kickboxing as well as martial arts. I'm on my way, well on my way to a black belt. In fact, all I need to do is take a final test and then I will have my black belt in Hapkido. Yeah, that's a bit about just my personal interest.
According to Santa Barbara Independent's article, Talking Healing with the Executive Director of Standing Together to End Sexual Assault by Indie Staff, you recently celebrated 22 years of service back in February of 2019 as the Executive Director for STESA, which is also formerly known as the Santa Barbara Rape Crisis Center, and you're currently on your 23rd year. What has been your biggest motivation in advocating for survivors of sexual assault and violence?
I think what has been important in that span of time, 23 years, is that I've seen many changes that our movement has been able to create. If you look at any given day, the issue is so overwhelming that, and it affects so many people that it doesn't seem like we're making any inroads. But if you look at it over those 23-year span, I can definitely see that we've made changes, and that's very inspiring. The other thing that's very inspiring and motivating is when I see new people enter our movement because they have great ideas, they have just a lot of energy to end the crime, to educate people about it. So I really derive a lot of inspiration from new folks jumping into the movement.
It is my understanding that Standing Together to End Sexual Assault offers a multitude of services to survivors. Would you mind sharing some of the services offered and if they're currently accessible due to COVID 19? Also, some advice you'd like to offer to survivors currently impacted by COVID 19?
So thankfully, yes, we are able to provide services right now during the COVID epidemic. In fact, we are receiving calls every day from people who are in situations where they have been assaulted. And in particular, what I can say is that I am concerned about the increased risk to people who um, are survivors of childhood sexual abuse or are being sexually assaulted by their partners because they're in the home where the abuse may have occurred, and it's difficult to get out of that situation. So sometimes what we do is to explore with people about where they can go in order to move away from those abusive relationships and abusive environments. And we are able to offer counseling services and all the range of our services to survivors and their loved ones. We do so through telehealth, so video conferencing that is private. I think the task is for us to be able to reach out to people in these new ways. We are able to give them the breadth of information and whatever kinds of services we were providing previously in contact ways, we are now able to do it in non-contact forms. So we encourage people to call us if they need, and we will explore how to best provide those services that they need.
Over the years, SESA has had a positive change and impact within our community. What challenges and fears have you faced throughout your time as executive director? What grounded you in your advocacy? And what enabled you to overcome those challenges and fears?
Well, I have to say that yes, there have been some challenges, but they've always been countered by the generosity of people in coming forward and doing this work. whether they contribute their funds or whether they contribute their time or expertise. It has always been the people coming forward to help with the work of the agency that has made it so fulfilling. I think that there always challenges in any given kind of work, but again, it's how we approach it. I think those of us who approach this work must do so in a fearless way. In doing that, I think we garner the support of others. Some of the challenges that I have seen are around funding. We're underfunded as an agency, as a movement throughout the state of California and throughout the country, but we still move forward and do what we can within the resources that we have. The other challenge that we have faced is that, of course, people don't want to talk about sexual assault. They don't want to talk about our issue. It's been taboo. And I think we've made um, a big inroads about that through, I think, the Me Too movement. But even before that, so I think that we are moving forward every day and continuing to make an impact not only on individual lives of survivors, but also a community as a whole, because sexual assault affects everyone. And whether it affects someone directly or indirectly, I think it's something that we must rid our community of so that we can have a great place to be and live and prosper, so that everyone puts their best foot forward and reaches their potential.
Growing up within the Latinx community as a young Chicana, both in Santa Barbara County and Ventura County, I would often hear a lot of stigma surrounding sexual assault and sexual violence. What resources and support does STESA offer to young minors, especially within the Latinx community, that face issues of sexual assault and violence?
Well, that's a really great question. I think that STESA has always had the commitment to serve the Latinx community. We've been very intentional in making sure that we have materials, that we have staff members who are able to not only speak in whatever language a person feels comfortable within the Latinx community, whether that be English or Spanish or Spanglish. It's about whether we are providing services in a culturally competent manner. And we have always been an agency that has been highly committed to that, because it doesn't serve us to try to provide services if the person who's obtaining them can't relate to them. And so I guess what I would say to young Latinx community members is come to either receive services as a survivor, as a significant other, or come and help provide those services to the community, because we need you. We need you. We need your skills, whether you speak English or Spanish or both. We need your insights into how our community thinks about these issues, and it's important to have you. So please come and help.
Finally, STESA's mission statement empowers people through healing and social change to eliminate all forms of sexual violence. What goals and changes does STESA currently have and hope to see? And what are the steps we need to take as a community in order to make these goals a reality?
We need help from everyone, because I am sure that we can end this crime. I know we can. But in order to do that, we need the help of everyone. We need your involvement, whether that's through making a donation or volunteering or giving us your insight, or helping with a educational campaign, answering our hotline, or conducting community education out where we live. So we need the help of everyone in whatever way they are interested in helping. So I look forward to that. I guess the big goal and dream is to end this crime. And I know that together we can do it. And COVID is not going to get in our way at all. In fact, it only poses yet another challenge for us to overcome and develop new ways to connect with people. And at the end of the day, that's what matters, is that connection in support of survivors of sexual assault. Thank you.